It's been described as the ultimate warning to humanity. A glimpse into the end times so disturbing that even the author was told to write it down only on the skin of a scroll. The book of Revelation, chapter 13, warns us of a beast rising from the earth, a powerful, deceptive force that will captivate the masses. And then comes the warning. He causes all, both small and great, to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead. For generations, Christians have debated what this mark could be: a symbol, a barcode, a vaccine. But in today's world, something new is emerging, something once thought impossible. Imagine a chip implanted under your skin, allowing you to buy, sell, scan, and move through life seamlessly. Sounds convenient, right? Well, here's the chilling part. These chips are real. In Sweden, thousands already use them in place of ID cards. Companies have tested them for employee access and financial transactions. And major banks are exploring biometric ID systems linked to your body. Could this be the fulfillment of the mark of the beast? Let's take a closer look at the text. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead. Before we go any further, I want to state something unequivocally. No one can predict when or how the events of Revelation will unfold. We don't know when the mark of the beast will appear. However, we do know that technology is advancing rapidly, and the line between science fiction and reality is becoming increasingly blurred. But let us set aside the warnings for a moment and consider the potential benefits of such a system. Imagine a world where your identity, medical history, financial records, and even social media presence are all stored on a tiny chip in your body. A world where a simple scan can verify your identity, grant you access to secure facilities, and even process financial transactions. Doesn't this sound like a dream come true? Well, for many, it already is. Millions of people around the world have embraced biometric technology. From fingerprint scanners to facial recognition software, we've become accustomed to living in a world where our every move is tracked and analyzed. But what if we took this a step further? What if we allowed technology to become an integral part of our bodies? Enter the realm of implantable microchips. In recent years, we've seen a surge in the development and implementation of microchips that can be implanted under the skin. These chips, which are typically no larger than a grain of rice, can store vast amounts of data and can be accessed with a simple scan. But before you dismiss the idea as pure science fiction, consider the fact that they're already being used in parts of the world. In Sweden, for example, thousands of people have opted to have microchips implanted in their hands, allowing them to bypass the need for cash, credit cards, or even government ID. With a simple scan, these chips can verify their identity, allowing them to purchase goods and services without the need for traditional forms of payment. Additionally, these chips can also be used to track individuals in real time, making it easier for authorities to monitor and manage the spread of diseases. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this really necessary? Can't we just rely on traditional methods of payment and disease tracking? The answer, believe it or not, is yes. But in a world where efficiency and convenience are highly valued, it's easy to see why many would opt for the seemingly easier solution. But let's take things a step further. What if these chips could be used for more than just financial transactions and disease tracking? What if they were used to control and manipulate individuals? That's where things start to get really interesting, and perhaps a bit terrifying. Imagine a world where your every move is tracked and monitored, where your access to resources is controlled by those in power. In a world where technology has become so advanced that it can control and manipulate individuals at a whim, does this sound like a dystopian nightmare? Well, unfortunately, it's already a reality for many. Take, for example, the rise of facial recognition technology. In recent years, we've seen an increase in the use of facial recognition software by law enforcement agencies and even private companies. This technology allows for the rapid and accurate identification of individuals, making it easier for authorities to track and monitor their movements. But what happens when this technology falls into the wrong hands? What happens when it is used to control and manipulate individuals rather than serve as a tool for justice? And that's not all. Take a look at the developments in autonomous weapons. Imagine a world where machines are given the power to take human life. While still in the early stages, The development of autonomous weapons is a growing concern for many experts, who believe that such weapons could pose a serious threat to humanity. So let's go back to the text. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead. The passage goes on to say that no one can buy or sell unless they have the mark of the beast. Is it possible that the mark of the beast could be a physical manifestation of this control? A tangible reminder that we are living in a world where technology has become so advanced that it can control and manipulate individuals at a whim. In a world where technology is becoming increasingly advanced, and where the line between science fiction and reality is becoming increasingly blurred, it's important to remember the lessons of the past. Throughout history, we've seen the dangers of allowing technology to become too powerful, of allowing ourselves to become too reliant on machines. Let's think of the countless ways that technology has impacted our lives for the worse. From the horrors of World War II to the rise of totalitarian regimes in the 20th century, we've seen firsthand the dangers of allowing technology to get out of control. But despite this, we continue to push forward. We continue to develop new and more powerful technologies without fully understanding the consequences. As we move forward, we must remember the lessons of the past. We must be cautious when it comes to new technologies. We must ensure that we are not creating monsters that will eventually turn against us. Some argue that the mark of the beast is a symbolic representation of the ultimate evil, a reminder that we must always choose good over evil, faith over fear. They believe that the mark is not a physical manifestation of control, but rather a metaphor for the choices we make as individuals. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to comply with the mark is up to each individual. But it's important to remember that we live in a world where technology is becoming increasingly advanced and where the line between science fiction and reality is becoming increasingly blurred. We must be aware of the dangers of allowing technology to get out of control, and we must be prepared to stand up for what we believe in, no matter the cost. The book of Revelation tells us that in the last days, there will come a great tribulation unlike anything the world has ever seen. It says that the Antichrist, a false prophet, will perform signs and wonders to deceive people into worshiping him. And it warns us that the devil himself will disguise himself as an angel of light to lead people astray. This passage serves as a warning for Christians to be vigilant and to be prepared for the challenges that will arise in the last days. The Bible teaches us that as Christians, we are called to be in the world, but not of the world. This means that we should be aware of what is happening around us, and we should be prepared to stand up for our beliefs when faced with persecution. However, we must also remember that the Bible warns us not to be fearful, for God is with us. Ultimately, we must remember that the Bible teaches us to love our neighbors as ourselves, and to treat others with compassion and understanding. As Christians, we should strive to be a light in the darkness and to bring hope to those who are struggling. We should be willing to help those who are different from us and to stand up for those who are being persecuted. In conclusion, the book of Revelation warns us of a coming tribulation and encourages us to be vigilant and prepared. It reminds us that the devil will disguise himself as an angel of light to deceive people, and that we should not be afraid but trust in God's plan. Ultimately, we must remember to love our neighbors and to be a light in the darkness. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to show your support. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to leave them below. We would love to hear from you. Please share this video with your friends and family, and stay tuned for more insightful content. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.